Hello there, aspiring Tedos. So once again, I have a build for you. This is going to be part of a 3-part series where I talk about how to get the most out of your relics. So basically, I'll tell you which relics are worth something now, but this is in future videos, so that you can check if you have them, and I'll talk about how to open them. So solo, squad, flawless, radiant, all of those things. It might not be as clear-cut as you think. Today, however, we're gonna cover a more, let's say, straightforward topic: how to open them in the first place. The things which I'll tell you in the next couple of videos, that's not gonna really help you if you're opening relics slowly anyways, right? It's all about efficiency when it comes to relics, and a little bit of strategism, but mainly efficiency. So what I really like about this build is that it's self-contained in Titania. You don't need any weapons, you don't need any companions, you don't need anything except for some very expensive arcanes, but that's okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so steel charge, not because we need steel charge for anything, we're just doing this because, it's more capacity. You do not need Umbra Intensify. I put a Umbra mod on Titania like an idiot, not understanding how much an Umbra Forma is worth. I would give a lot to be able to remove this Umbra Forma and put it on something else. So don't do this, just use normal Intensify. You absolutely do not need that little bit of extra something. Not necessary, alright? We have a ton of range because that's the whole point of this. We just want to nuke low tier trash quickly when we're doing our sabotage, exterminate, capture, so on and so forth. Those fast kind of missions. Those are the kind of missions you want to do anyways. Spoiler. We have, again, you need a little bit of strength because you want to actually be able to kill the enemies. We're using Thermal Sunder, that's our DPS, and we want to hold down the ability so that it deals fire instead of cold. As you can see that the base heat is twice as much as the cold damage. That's very important. And since we're not playing Gauss, we don't have to worry about our battery passive. Then for arcanes, first off we're using Arcane Nullifier, which is decently expensive. This is not necessary, but when playing on the Grenade tile set, there is like the security doors with the energy force fields. If you pass through those without this arcane, you will be hit by a magnetic proc, and this will cause you to lose the majority of your energy. That's not very nice. You don't want that to happen on this build. We are running preparation because this build cannot sustain itself, but it doesn't have to. As long as you have more energy before you, or rather, as long as you have more than 0 energy when you reach the end of the map, that's good enough. And that happens most of the time unless you get really unlucky with the spawns. We do, however, still need to supply ourselves with a little bit more energy, and we get that through Arcane Energize. Alright, that's pretty much all there is to the Titania build. Now let me move on and talk about another build that you will probably also need. The thing is, Titania can handle Neo Relics, but after that it starts to fall off, and even some of the high Neos definitely struggles a little bit. Thermal Sunder can only take you so far. Then for our other build, I'm using Wukong here, and as you can see, it isn't super duper optimized. I'm using Prime Sure Footed because I prefer to use my Kuva Brahma, and I don't want to get knocked on my ass all the time. Basically, this build is just a bunch of duration. The rest is not necessary. You could get rid of this. You could even get rid of this. The missions are super short, and Wukong needs to die 4 times before he goes down. So, you gotta be safe for those short missions anyways. Axie Exterminate, so on and so forth, where you actually have to kill a decent amount of enemies. Bring this build instead. And then just your weapon of choice can be the Kuva Brahma, Kuva Sar, I don't know, like Glaive is also a decent option. Like any explosive weapon that clears a lot of ground is going to be really good. If you super try hard about it, then you'd go ahead and add Primed Firestorm as well for a little bit of extra blast radius. That's definitely peak tryharding, but let's be real, we're opening relics. Tryharding is our forte. But anyways, that's pretty much all there is to it when it comes to opening relics. So I'll see you in the next part of this series.